イフレンド。
サンキューソーマッチベストフレンド。
マイフレンド。
サンキューソーマッチベストフレンド。
Bang, bang,
Wake up, wake up, wake up. It's the first of the month. Oh my goodness. Alright. So hot in here. So hot. Man, I'm telling you, man. Water, like hydration. That's why I don't have a hydration button, because I don't need y'all to remind me that how great water is. I hydrate on my own. I will hydrate on my own. What's good, everybody? What's up, Robotech? Matt, I see you in here. Thanks for liking that YouTube video. It needed some love. It was hurt. It was hurting. What we got? Robotech, you did not change. Robotech, why did you change your avatar to that scary to Sunny? You say you have a troll blurb? No, I don't even need that. I literally just love water so much. So much. GB was good. Ayo. Alright. I saw this very cringe video. So now we all have to see this shit. And it's so funny to me because like we gonna get into it, but I gotta tell you guys about, I went on a date. Well, it wasn't really a date, it was more of like a meetup, and it's one of those situations where there's 3 girls and there's 1 dude. And okay, and this is a firm thing for me. If you are a guy and you can't get the girl you're interested in separated from her posse, if you can't get that, if you can't get her to, if you say, hey, look, me and you should go out, and she's like, oh, me, you know, I want to do something with me and my girls. First of all, leave that girl alone, okay? She's a headache. She's a problem waiting to happen. You probably picked the best looking one in the group. And she doesn't want to be a bad friend. So kudos to her. She wants her friends to have fun too. That's not your responsibility. 1 man, 1 girl. Maybe 1 guy, 2 girls. Who's to say? Depends on what you. Be honest with your partners. Be honest with your partners. So he hits me up. He says, "Hey man, hit me up." He hits me up. Says, "Hey man, I need you to run wing with me." And you know, I'm always down to clown. But I need to make sure before we get into this circus that it's actually about to be some funny shit. So he sends me a picture of the group, and I say, there's 2 girls. Which one am I looking at? He's like, which one do you want? And I was like, I thought the one I picked was actually the prettier one. And he was like, all right, cool, bet. And I was like, so what are you going to do with the 3rd girl? He was like, oh, you know, she'll just chill. And I was like, no. You're not going to see, and this is what I'm talking about, bad planners. That was the 2nd red flag right there. But for some reason, my red flags, like sirens, weren't going off. And maybe it's because she looked good. But that was the 2nd red flag. So I was like, no, bro. You asking me to come play wingman, and I'm okay being your wingman. But we're not about to have a 5th wheel situation. Your ride ain't riding, bro. We need a pickup. We got to figure out this 3rd situation. So we call up our other homeboy, fresh out of a relationship. So he's hurt. He's past the 1 week mark where he's like, I don't give a fuck. You know, he was playing 2K for like 6 days straight. Talking about, yeah, I'm fine. Bro, you haven't showered in a week. You are not fine. You're hurt, sir. You're hurt.
When I came down.
What happened? All his players are maxed out. He has 3 save files with all maxed out characters. You are not fine, sir. So we get him to go, and he looks at the girls and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'll take whoever's not available." Whoever's not available. But he ends up picking her. It's cool, and we're chilling. We're kicking it all Saturday. We go out to the lakefront. They have like a big party downtown Chicago, like 10,000 people. It was chill. It was a vibe. We got into some nice, cool areas, and everything's going all hunky dory. But I don't drink. And I was saying to myself, like, yo, they drink at the lakefront. They pre-gamed, and we go back to the villa where he's chilling. They drink some more,
yeah.
and now we're getting ready for dinner or whatever. So we going out to dinner. We getting everything set up, and I'm looking at some of these. I'm like, y'all need to tighten up. Y'all need to tighten up. And one of the girls talking about she wants to drive her car, and I'm like, you're drunk. And at that, you're drunk and you're an adult. Like, you should just know better. Plus, where are you going to park? Like, it was just, she was like, no, it's fine. It's just fine. I'm just like, but like, there's a part of me that feels like at a certain age, you got to stop putting yourself in between people and their problems, because certain people have problems because of the demons they refuse to let go of, right? I've been watching this girl drink since 10:30 in the morning. Now she's over here debating with people about the levels of her intoxication, and her homegirls are like, "No, leave her. We be telling her, but she just thinks she knows better." And I'm just like, and like, there's a part of me that's just like, I'm okay with watching people like fail, but I ain't okay with people dying, ruining their life. So like, luckily for us, she couldn't even find her car keys. Wanna know why? Because it was in her purse. Where's her purse? Locked inside of her trunk. So fast forward to the end of the story. It ends with a dude coming to. It ends with us. We needed a dude to come put we needed like that square thing, and then we got like a hanger and got her shit out. But like, her dude had to come get her into her car, and it's just one of those weird things where it's like, so what was you doing at this dude's house with 3 other guys? Oh, I wasn't here for the guys. I was here for the girls. I was just like, hey man, tell your story the way it's your life. You can tell your stories the way you want to. But anyway, so we finish up with dinner, and the girl I was talking to, she was chill. She was cool. She wasn't problem. It wasn't until like the very end where I was ready to go home. And me personally, I've been on enough dates, and I've been on enough dates, enough one night stands, where I'm just like, I don't. If I feel like the process of getting you out of my house the next day is going to be more stressful than the process of getting you into my bed, I don't want to deal with it, right? Furthermore, you're not prepared, so you didn't even intend on being like a good wing girl yourself. You didn't have a bag packed. Like, come on, where's your preparedness? Where's your mental state of mind? You weren't prepared to be out here in these streets. You shouldn't be in these streets. So I was getting ready to leave. Everything cool with me, right? And thank God I listened to my internal clock and was like, yeah, it's time for me to go. So as I'm leaving, I see my homeboy finally getting the deal done. And I think that's a mission well done for me, right? He's in the back room. I hear, hey, mission accomplished. My job here is done. You got the cheeks, sir. I can go home. That's what I was thinking. But all the other girl was thinking like, oh well, shit, I want some cheeks too. And it's like, no, that's not what you came here to do. You came here to play. You came here to be an offensive guard and cock block. And I moved you off the ball, and my linebacker came around and filled the corner. You feel me? We've been doing this for a long time. We're a well-functioned team. You feel me? Even out of rotation, we're not even in season form right now. We're not even in shape. We're ready. So she was trying to get me to stay, and I'm just like, nah. Them days of me clapping it on the couch, and then them walking in on us, and I'm clapping cheeks, and you trying to cover up, and I'm like, your friends ain't seen you naked before. Your friends ain't seen you naked before. My friends have seen me butt ass naked. My friends have seen me naked, right? So I'm good. But you're not comfortable with this. So long story short, I end up going home, and she ends up the drunkest girl ends up passing out, and my homeboy ends up having adult relationships with the girl I was with, and I guess she was feeling some type of way. She was like, I think your friend really liked me. And he was like, who, Hero? Hero don't even remember your name. And you know what? I don't. Clap it. It started with a P or something. I don't know. So, needless to say, I'm here for my people. I'm here for my strangers. You feel me? I'm a man of my word. You feel me? I'm here for my people. So that was how my weekend went. How'd y'all's go? How did y'all's go? Robotech, thank you so much for that sub. Robotech's helping me pay the bills this month. Robotech is helping me pay the bills this month. Hey, yo, what's up, Taurus? How we living? I saw Grimy roll up in here. Grimy. My boy working on a game called Plaza. GB, what's up, baby? All right. Hey man, it's good to know that you're making it. Mad, what did I play? I played I was defensive tackle. You said it. You said it. Yeah, but I don't know about y'all, but I think it's not I think we should all agree to call in. When's the 4th? Thursday? I'm calling in on Wednesday. I'm not going to work on Wednesday. I'm calling in sick. And I'm not coming back till Monday. I think that's a fair thing to do. I'm trying to serve some users at work and also comply with security stuff. I may end up crossing blades with some of those latter before the weekend. Taurus, you should. What job is available at your job? You should hire me. I want to come in and handle the bureaucracy that you deal with. Taurus, I want to be your individual representative at work. because I don't think you deserve the stressors that you have. You feel me? Ain't no way. I don't know what how. Ain't no way you expect me to go celebrate America's birthday and go back to work the day after. You don't want me to come back to work. I'm gonna be too intoxicated, and I don't even drink. Yeah, I ain't coming back to work. You had your shot. There are several, but let me tell you, man, this place is cutthroat. Man, Taurus, I'm cutthroat. I'm cutthroat. The evil people have learned to fear me. I know where a lot of the bodies are buried in this place. I actually put some of them there. Damn, Taurus. Taurus. Oh man, Taurus, that's great. He said I put some of them there. Are you guys working from home? Yeah, that's what I need. I'm only doing a half a week. No clients work this week either. If I don't figure out how to make this web packet work, I promise you we're gonna skip over it and we're gonna move just straight into React because if you guys look at the Discord in the help section, I literally posted a picture of everything working, and for the life of me, I got everything to work. Don't know what or how to use said information that I got finally working. Don't know how to use it. And if talk about feeling useless. Uh, don't forget if you want to join the race, you can. Robotech's got a good lead on y'all though. Grimy in second place. The way you join the race is the perfect lurker. It's the pink channel point. Stand out. And if we're about to go over we're gonna go over like I told you guys I was done talking about Assassin's Creed Shadows until I played the game, but I came across this video over the weekend and I could not bring myself not to review this video. So we're gonna watch this video and just react to it because I truly think there's something wrong with people in this world. The dude who is regional director of security like 6 years ago when he was an analyst literally faked some documentation in security finding reports on in order for another director attempt to block my project. Damn. I still have all the receipts for that. Torres has a mind of a youthful elephant. He don't forget shit. Who wants to be responsible for reminding me to turn back on alerts? Let's stream. Oh yeah, I forgot to check on YouTube. Who's over there on YouTube? Back to 2008. That was the year I came out of high school for college. That's what's up, Taurus. Never fuck with Taurus. That's what I've learned in life. Taurus has taught me anything is to keep my friends close. All right, let's get into it, shall we? Hey, yo, clap it. What's up, everybody? How you doing? My name is Hero. This is Coding with Strangers, and I promised. I thought I was done making Assassin's Creed video. The farming of you all who think that you, for some reason, rule the internet and have an opinion that everyone has. I thought those days were numbered. I thought for sure I wasn't gonna be able to make video. I think the best made video I've made so far on Assassin's Creed did the poorest. But, you know, that's how the grift works in this situation. I make content that people pretend to be angry about. I post it and, you know, they get to react to it. Shoot, a lot of people that are still commenting on the videos that I make are people that essentially are just woefully lying to themselves. Like, they're like somebody will come into the comment section and say, "Oh, Yasuke wasn't a samurai." Like, bro, shut up. No one cares. No one cares. We get it. We get it. Black people make you uncomfortable. It's okay, man. It's okay. But I think it's appropriate to do one of two things when people are being bigoted. Preferably the first option. Call it out when you can. Second option, only under extreme circumstances should you be allowed to knock a motherfucker out. You feel me? Just cock back and just be like blammo. Because what you taught, your mouth cashing a check that it can't. Your mouth is writing a check that your ass can't cash. You feel me? A lot of people are very brave and bold on the internet because they don't have faces. But you know, you can see me. You can come see me, and I always know I'm talking to a little boy on the internet when they say something weird like, "That's why you're fat." Yeah, your mom loves it. Like, what do you want me to respond to that? No one brings a six-pack to a party. You bring a keg, baby. That's how you know the party started. But regardless of the insults or the grandstanding of these conversations, it still goes without saying when people, and this is specific to gamers, and this is why I've always believed that when politicians say gamers or video games make gamers violent, I think that's a bad faith argument. The argument should be aggressive people play video games. A certain demographic of gamers are very aggressive because they do weird things like dox people on the internet. Or like this story about a dude in New York who was getting beat in a game that was going to shut down in 2 days. Here's the article for that. That was going to be today's story. A dude so angry that he kept losing at a game to one particular person, he went and found the person IP address, went to their house, snuck in, and attacked him. And it wasn't until the dude's father came home that he was able to subdue the kid. And the funny part about it is this game was due to shut down this week or the week of the attack. So for me, it's one of those weird things where it's just like, who am I to stop you from being angry? Be angry. Vocalize your opinion. In fact, protest the game if you like. But attacking people on the internet shows that you're not really concerned about your grievances. You're concerned about causing an overreaction or imposing your will, rather, on people to make sure that they don't get to enjoy it. Because you're not mad that the game exists. You're mad that someone who's not you will get to enjoy a game when nothing is really stopping you from enjoying the game other than your own ego, racism, and bigotry, right? So so we have this article, but this is we're just going to take a glimpse here because I think it's important that leadership should lead from the top. And I think Ubisoft has a moral obligation to protect not only their workers from the onslaught of abuse that they're getting, but also protect their customers who might feel apprehensive about playing this video game because they don't see any support. But we're going to watch a video, and man, when I tell you this video, it broke something in me because we'll get to it. But let's take it from the top, shall we? We'll maybe cover that story tomorrow, but there wasn't enough details for me to find out. But Taurus, I thought it was fascinating. I mean, I'm pretty sure like if there's only 100 to 200 people playing, and you keep losing to the same gamer tag, yo, how many times would you have to lose a game to somebody before you like, all right, I'm bringing violence to you, man? Yo. I would have thrown my video game away before if that thought ever came across my mind, I would have thrown my video game away. But I don't know. I've never been a person who takes losing video games that personal. And that's why I probably, I'm not a very competitive person online. I'm competitive in real life. Yeah, we're talking about less than 200 active players daily, 2,000 total. Right? So I think it would be pretty easy to narrow it down. You've seen violence break out in a chess tournament? Taurus, you got to tell that story. Good God, you got to tell that story right there. Let's get into this, shall we? Ubisoft CEO condemns hateful acts against developers following AC Shadow backlash. Ubisoft CEO Eufus Glamont has spoken out about the malicious and personal online attacks that have been directed at his employees and partners, citing it as one of his major concerns in games industry at the moment. Guillemot gave a wide-ranging interview that was posted on Ubisoft's website on Thursday, speaking about various topics including the future of Assassin's Creed, X Defiant, and more. He was also asked about dismays about what dismays him in the industry currently and pointed specifically to online harassment in response. One thing I am concerned about right now is the malicious and personal online attacks that have been directed at some of our team members and partners. Gamont said, I want to make it clear that we at Ubisoft condemn these hateful acts. I am in the strongest possible terms and encourage the rest of the industry and players to denounce them too. And I think this conversation is very good. I think this is something that a leader needs to do. I think it's important for them to do. But because he's talking about this, a lot of people won't get to read further down the article. And I'll give you the TLDR. He's basically saying, yo, we want to remake a bunch of games, but we don't want to pay people for that because we want to maximize our cost. So he's praying that the AI technology gets good enough so that those games can be made by AI. And I remember some of the San Andreas or the Grand Theft Auto games got a remake, and they were made with like artificial intelligence, and those games were atrocious. So if that's what they're thinking about doing, the games industry is fucked. But because we're so busy talking about this bullshit, we can't address this as a collective community. You see, like, because we are stuck talking about nonsense, like who gets to enjoy video games these days, we can't talk about the more pressing issue that the most creative minds in the media might be pushed out, and some of the best versions of these video games we won't get to experience in their authentic way. For example, look at Metal Gear Solid Delta, which looks to be doing a remake completely from scratch up using the Unreal Engine 5, and how majestic that looks. I don't think Ubisoft has it within them to do the same thing for us as far as Assassin's Creed is concerned. But we can't even talk about that because the headline for this article took off, and that's what everyone's saying. Ubisoft's woke. Ubisoft's woke. We've heard the story all the same. But you know what? One of the primary arguments I've heard is Assassin's Creed Shadows is doing atrocious in Japan. If you go to Japan right now, they are rioting. Over 200,000 people downvoted a video on YouTube in Japan. Even though anyone can access it, that's besides the point. Even though anybody can access the video from anywhere on the internet, we're all pretty sure that all 200,000 downvotes on the Japan version of the trailer is authentic, or the fact that it's #1 selling in Japan pre-order is not real. It's not an indication of fandom. Or how about this? It's probably racist because, you know, they took away an opportunity for the #3 biggest gaming industry. That's even with per capita in mind. They could make a game if they wanted, but they're worried about a game from the West. So all of this hogwash to say, what would happen if a man traveled to Japan to, let's say, record some of these riots, to record some of this backlash? Let's ask everyday people on the streets of Japan how they feel about Assassin's Creed. And this is the man they chose to send. Clap it. No worries, people. Private Eye is on the case. Private Eye, Cabarotus. Cabateras. About 4 months ago, I don't know the story if this is true or not, but it makes it a lot funnier if it is true. About 4 months ago, Cabaras, this lovely individual, went to Japan, found one of his friends who likes his videos on YouTube, and asked him to go around with him to tour and ask people what they think about Assassin's Creed. Now, it's low-hanging fruit. Could I talk about his general demeanor and how he probably stands out in the crowd? Sort of like how the character he's upset about being in a video game, Yasuke, being a black person in Japan, trying to fit in, but stands out. Could I talk about how like there's a parallel there and how he missed that irony in the process of trying to prove something? Yeah, I could do that. I could do a whole deep dive on the psychological deficiencies these individuals are having because black people in video games, right? But that's neither here or there. We're not going for the low-hanging fruit. There's some premium shit at the top of this tree, and I need you guys to get to it. This video is 19 minutes long. Trust me, we're not going to look at the whole thing, and you'll see why. But I just want you to get the guy's opening.
What's up, guys? I'm Brutus, and I came to Akihabara to ask Japanese people what they think. What are their thoughts about the latest Assassin's Creed trailer? Ubisoft had just released the trailer last week, and I've seen many people over the internet sharing their opinions. I think that in this case, Japanese opinion matters a lot. Don't you guys think? So I brought my friend Sean. With me. Say hello to them, Sean. Yeah, he's a dear follower he quickly became a friend of mine here in Japan, and he's gonna help me with the interviews and translating what people say. Okay, so let's get to it.
All right, his B footage roll goes on for a long time, but one thing that I will say for him, good on him for getting the B-roll footage, and I want you to count how many women he interviews.
大丈夫？
はい。じゃあ、お先によろしいですか。じゃあ、お先にちょっと、こちらトレーラーの方を、ちょっと1分ぐらいほど見てもらって、その後にちょっと日本。
And basically he's going to show, he does this for every person in the video, but he shows every person in the video and he shows us the person that watching this video, them watching the video. He could have fast forwarded to these points, but he chose not to. Don't know why he felt the need to show every section, but good on him. And I'll give him credit where credit's due. To get people more comfortable with filming, because I'm assuming Japanese people aren't big on the whole being filmed thing. Big reason separation from them in China. But, you know, respecting that but still getting the interview and still getting the content, I'll give him credit for that. I found that to be really impeccable. It's almost like he's assimilating to someone's culture in order to accommodate them. It's so strange to see. He's not the one speaking Japanese, it's the cameraman. His cameraman is speaking Japanese for him.
And follow the blade.
So, do you think that the trailer that you just watched is actually a good representation, a good and accurate representation of Japanese people, history and culture?
今のトレーラーを見て、日本の文化や歴史の適切な表現だと、ちょっと、はい、表すには適切だと思いますか？どう思いますか？
そこまで日本の文化にすごく詳しいというわけではないんですけれども、特にそんなに違和感はなかったと思います。はい。
はい。なるほど。
All right. First person you ask, hey, do you think this was an accurate depiction of Japan and Japanese culture? It looks fine to me. Clap it. First person you talk to on the streets, they say, yo, it looks good to me. Looks good to me.
そうです。Good?
Good.
以上、no more question. 以上、
Sorry.
一応メインの方です。
So what did you say?
He's not very specific, but he doesn't say there's too much strange going on.
Too much strange going on?
They're so,
okay,
I just love like, good on him for being so openly awkward and leaving this in for us to examine, because this is something that would be cut, like the awkwardness of not getting the response you are wanting and even leading the question. But what he doesn't realize is that the internet isn't real to everybody. The internet is only real for the people who stay on the internet. And this is so true. We see this over and over again. We just got out of an election debate recently, and we know people commenting on like allegations of who's as fit to be president, who's fit to be president. 60% of those people will not vote. It shows. It shows. We've talked to people. I've personally talked to people at rallies on both sides of the aisle who aren't registered to vote. And it's always crazy when you go to these rallies. There's never anywhere a booth or anything like that set up for people to register to vote. It's funny, but like he has a current situation. He got his first wake up call that maybe his assertion of people on the internet is not real. And instead of him to take that, sit with it, and maybe think and redirect, he's gonna keep on looking. Let's see what he finds.
What do you think about the characters that were depicted in the trailer? Do you think that they fit well the Japanese people culture history points?
トレーラーで、登場したキャラクターは日本の文化に、すいません日本の文化を表す感じとか、まあ、登場してなんかやっぱ変なのか、まあ大丈夫、別に問題はないかなってと。
なるほど。まあでも、なんだろうな。
That's difficult. I don't find much strange with them, but feel like it mixes foreign-like aspects with Japan in a good way. In a good way. That the irony is and I don't want to be like derogatory of Japanese people, but I can only base this off the example that I get off of American people. And from what I understand, American people aren't very well versed on their history or education about social issues that don't directly impact them. That's the equivalent of me going up to some Wall Street bro and asking him, hey, what do you think about the environmental impacts of solar energy on, or like the environmental impacts of getting batteries for solar energy? That tech bro is gonna be like, the fuck, bro, I'm in fintech. Like I'm trying to figure out how to make $1 stretch to the end of Thursday. You feel me? People don't understand things that don't inherently affect them. A mother is not going to understand the trials and tribulations of a young bachelor in Chicago trying to get his friend some cheeks on the weekend. You feel me? That's just not something she's interested in debating or having a conversation with.
難しい。そんなに違和感があったわけではないですけど、まあやっぱなんかそのちょっと海外チックな感じと日本の感じがまあ組み合わせていい感じに見えたかなと思います。
はい、なるほどです。わかりました。はい、ありがとうございます。はい。
Don't show the face and not ask names, right?
一応同じく顔は見せない形でよろしいですね。はい、わかりました。じゃあそちらのように No showing face.
No face, no
No
names.
face.
Okay.
じゃあちょっと同じようにちょっとまあトレーナーの位置。
Once again, he shows the trailer to every single person which is crazy to me, but
ゲームの設定は戦国時代ですけど、その歴史、まあ、日本の歴史の適切な表現や正確な表現、登場するキャラクターたちも、まあ、どう思うのかを、お聞かせください。
キャラクターの格好も十分適
the characters look fine to me, and the weapons used like the Hinawa Jiwu matchlock, so I don't think there was anything weird with it. Okay.
特に
いいです。
Okay, ありがとうございます。
すみません。ありがとうございました。
So second person now, he's second person now. He's come to a grid wall. The person's like, everything's fine, everything's cool. He even mentions that the weapons they're using look fine and they look cool. And I don't know if these people are just being overly polite, or maybe they find it kind of weird to tell a foreigner that a foreign person in a game isn't really cool because you, my friend, are a foreigner. So like asking, because I don't know if he understands, they see him as a foreigner too. So if they say they don't like this foreigner, will they be mistaken as thinking that he being a foreigner here is bad? Like, it is one of those run-of-the-mill things where he didn't really think this through all the way. And like I said, I still want to believe that he paid money to fly from wherever he's from in the world to come here and do this, because it just adds more funny factors to it. And also, I really love the double straps on the sneakers. I mean, chef's kiss. Let's fast forward. He asks several people, but I think this is going to be 4, 5, and 6.
今のトレーラーを見て、設定は日本の戦国時代ですけど、その日本の歴史や文化の適切、まあ、正確な表現になっていると思いますでしょうか。
なってます。なってます。
I think it is. I think it is.
なってると思います。すご
I
いと
think
思
it
います
is. I think it's done really well. I think it's really well created.
なるほどです。ありがとうございます。
The samurai character that is featured in the trailer is Yasuke. He's a historic figure of Japanese culture. Are you guys familiar with him?
トレーラーの中で登場する侍の方は一応日本の歴史人物ヤスケというんですけど、ご存知でしょうか。どなたなのか。
知らない。
知らないっす。知らないです。
なるほどです。はい。
And this is something that he touches on here in a little bit, and we'll fast forward. So basically, the consensus is people who don't know who Yasuke is found the trailer to still be interesting. And one of the catch-alls was one of the people, I think it was the fourth person he interviewed, said he enjoys learning about different people's perspective on his own culture. So that means he initiated a conversation that said, he has the wherewithal to say, damn, I've been in my culture my whole life. I would love to know how someone from the outside looking in would actually feel about my culture. The incredible sense of appreciation for your culture being shared with people instead of being a zealot and trying to keep it away, play keep away from people. That level of nuance and curious thinking is just not established in the Western media or Western culture for the vocal minority on the internet. They just really don't know how to handle it.
わかりました。
Okay, that's all.
もう大丈夫。質問。No more question?
No more question.
はい。じゃあ質問は以上でございます。
はい、ありがとうございます。
すみません。はい、ありがとうございました。
And I love how he shows every video and everything about this. But to answer the question at the beginning of this session, unless I'm horribly misgendering anybody in the video, but I didn't see any women being in this video. And notice how, who are we kidding? He's not walking up to any woman. He's not walking up to any woman on these streets. Like, I know it sounds bad, but he was not equipped to walk up to a woman in this, that if there was ever a time where you could walk up to a woman and just ask her questions without the threat of being perceived as some scandalous, devious man, that was it. But he didn't reach out to talk to anybody. So it lets me know two things. One, he came here with an objective, to subject people to Yasuke and try and get them to have a negative opinion of him that matches his own real world opinion. Two, he doesn't have, in a world where he has to decide whether he likes women more than he dislikes black people, he chooses to dislike black people more because he didn't ask not one question as it pertains to Naoe. And yeah, he at some point during the interview, he mentioned, how do you feel about the representation of the characters while leaning into Yasuke? But he never once directly asked about Naoe, who is the female protagonist in this game. He was only focused on Yasuke. So it's hard for me to say, it's not about racism when his dog whistle is so fucking loud it can drag a fucking hippo to the fucking party, you know? Like, his dog whistles are too damn loud. But it's not enough, right? It's not enough. He didn't get the clip, the soundbite he wanted. He didn't get someone saying they didn't like the game. So what does he do? He retreats. He goes back to his comfort zone. He goes back to where he will more than likely get the affirmation and confirmation that he wants. He goes back to his echo chamber.
Someone around here who still has to be interviewed.
Nani?
Yeah, I mean, you're Japanese, right?
Yeah, I am.
Born and raised, right?
Yep.
You never even left Japan the whole life, right?
Nope.
Okay, so tell me, do you think that the Assassin's Creed trailer, the latest one, is actually a good and accurate depiction of Japanese culture and people?
For me, if it was fiction, then it'd probably be okay. But
for him, if it was fiction, it would probably be okay. Assassin's Creed is not a real life depiction of anything. In fact, at the beginning of every game, it says things in this story have been stretched, or this is not to be taken as fact. If you did want to lean on anything that was actual representation, it would probably be architecture, as the Cathedral of Notre Dame was thoroughly impressed with the representation of their cathedral churches. And this is the problem with his interview. He, as a host, doesn't understand the difference between fiction and nonfiction, and doesn't have the wherewithal or the capacity to challenge people on this misconception. And also, there's a bias here that he's not even willing to acknowledge. But he's Japanese. He's lived there his whole life. He hasn't been corrupted by the internet. He's not someone who's leaning heavily on things that he's been told to feel on the internet.
I'm not too specific or familiar with the Assassin's Creed series.
Oh, you never played it?
After hearing that every other game had the main character from that country, the respective.
Another thing that you could simply look up, all the Assassin's Creed games do not have main protagonists from their same place of origin. I believe Black Flag had a man from Welsh out in the Caribbean. I believe, which one was it? The DS, the PSP version, Freedom, has I believe a person from Morocco, a black female protagonist that's roaming France. She's not from France. She was a protagonist of a game. It was on a portable, but nonetheless. So he's admitted he doesn't know the games. He doesn't understand the difference between fiction and nonfiction, and he has an inherent bias. Right? So there's three things right there that's made him unqualified to have this conversation. He can have an opinion, but to base it in fact is where people like me have a problem.
Of country, that's when it felt really racist that Japan doesn't get that. Even the Shinobi character, like, even though she's Japanese, and a lot of people have been saying, like, hey, there is a Japanese character. From what I've seen, Ubisoft said that Yasuke is going to be the main character, and the main character Yasuke is not Japanese, and that's how I feel it's racist when it comes to the Japan remake.
Wait, what?
How I feel it's racist. The main character Yasuke is not Japanese, and that's how I feel it's racist.
Clap it up, we got it. We got it. It's racist. It's racist because Yasuke is not Japanese and he's black. So is this racist? Is this like black on Japanese racist? Or is this like Western media racist on Japanese people? Like, or can black people be removed from it? Like, we're not racist? Or is this like because the studio's in Montreal? Or where's the game? The game's made? The game is made in Montreal, so like maybe the Canadians, like the people from the North, they're the true racists. But then it's crazy because we know that the writer is Japanese. We know that the game's director, and they have a studio that was built in Japan specifically to make this game more accurate to the culture. And accuracy is important because notice a lot of normies, because I don't think any of those people know what Assassin's Creed was. None of those people have played Assassin's Creed as a game. Just by the sheer fact, none of them knew what the game was. They're clearly okay with the aesthetics of the game because they see their culture being represented. Because people like to conflate culture as a form of identifying people. Culture is a way of life, it's social norms, it's a collective group of social norms that people have agreed upon to follow. Their dress, their talk, their food, their style, their swagger. That's what makes it a culture. It's a vibe check. So you can imitate people's culture. You can imitate it well. But to claim that is racist because Yasuke, who is from Japanese lore, who is a person that existed in Japanese lore, and that's not an argument, that's not a debate, he was there. My guy was there. For them to say it was racist shows me that he doesn't know what racism is. But who are we kidding? He just walked around translating for this bigot, assuming that they were going to get a soundbite that normal people outside of the internet and his Discord would care about an Assassin's Creed game. That's one of the more wild things. And I think someone who makes content on the internet, it took me a long time to figure out this certain perspective because I've made hundreds of thousands of videos and pieces of content. And there was always this wanderlust idea that people would care. But then you remember, everybody comes and watches the NFL Super Bowl, but the Super Bowl's viewer numbers and viewership pales in comparison to a cricket game in India. The biggest sports star isn't LeBron James. It's some dude that plays a sport I've never seen. Right? There are soccer players that are dwarfing NBA players' follower numbers on social media. And that's when you really start to realize that even your internet is still a small segment, small tiny corner, a niche group of people.
When it comes to the Japan remake. Not remake.
But were you familiar with Yasuke before this trailer?
Absolutely nothing.
Really? Oh, okay.
I've not heard of him until
curious. Now. And if you look back at the interviews we just had earlier today, in my opinion, it doesn't seem that Japanese people are familiar with Assassin's Creed or even Yasuke himself, right? What would you say about it?
I would say that would be correct. When I saw the Assassin's Creed Shadows thing and how that blew up, I asked a few of my coworkers who are also gamers if they even knew Assassin's Creed or Yasuke, and both of them said no. It doesn't seem that anyone in Japan that I know at least knows about the series or the character Yasuke. Not the character, the historical figure.
So you think that would you think that when they look at the trailer, they think that it's just a fictional story and that's it?
I think so. Yeah, I'm not sure.
So he just answered the question. He literally said in the beginning of this that because they're not portraying this as fiction, that he has concerns that people will think it's real. He just asked him, are you concerned that people will look at this and think it's fictional? And he says, yeah, I think so. So your primary concern isn't really your concern. We know we now have confirmation of what their concerns are. Is black people in video games and black people enjoying video games. I don't need to hear nothing else. But sometimes you just gotta remind people that they're ill-equipped to have this conversation on a broader scale. And I want you to really think about this video. He's posted 19 minutes of this, and 19 minutes of 7 people telling him to his face he's wrong. And at the end of it, this is the resolve on his face. Like he has no concern that he is wrong or not in the wrong here. He doesn't have there's nothing connecting those dots for him. And it's quite unfortunate because then he leans on his camera guy, and his camera guy, who's Japanese, doesn't have the wherewithal or the confidence to put his face on camera and stand by his word, stand on some business. You feel me? Big balls. You don't got them, bro. They're not in your favor. But I digress. Someone went to Japan, talked to 7 random Japanese people, and I think now, based on their logic, we can all put our hands up and say, hey, look, looks like Assassin's Creed Shadow is going to be a great game. Clap it up. I'm going to still buy the game. I'm still going to play it. I'm going to enjoy it thoroughly. If you want to help me purchase that, feel free. Like, share, subscribe. Hit the donation button. The game costs $90 or $70 these days. I could use some help. Patreon's open as well. You guys take care. I'm a samurai. Samurai! Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Could you imagine? This guy is funny. Yo, this guy was hilarious to watch. Samurai. I'm gonna open the show up with that. That shit is hilarious. That shit is hilarious. The whole globe is heating up, and there's a nuclear submarine still prowling the ocean. Yeah, tiring the horizons. No one and this guy has outraged over the way a video game character is portrayed enough to travel to the other side of the world. I like Taurus. When I saw this video, I was like, he has to be a troll. But he has sort of like this divergence where he looks away. His head is always looking away from the camera, but his eyes is fixated on the lens. Like he's not comfortable in front of the camera. So I commend him for doing this. But think about what it took for him to come out here and subjugate himself to that. Bro, you could have been the third wheel on a date with some girl that was overly intoxicated, but instead you were on the streets interviewing 7 people being told no. And the fact that he didn't interview a woman kind of pissed me off. You didn't ask nobody about no woman? You don't think women don't play games? You think he has a therapist? You think he has a therapist? Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. He strikes you as a well-regulated individual. He flew to Japan. You know what he has? He has friends who agreed to meet him in a foreign country and help him videotape this. And when he couldn't find anyone to agree with him, he turned to the only friend he had and asked him to do something. Man, when I saw this shit, I couldn't. There was a brief second where I literally couldn't stop laughing. I couldn't stop laughing. But speaking of shit that ain't funny. So can someone explain this to me? How does this shit work? How does this shit work? Where do I go? Where do I go to see the web page? If everything gets loaded in the disk, and in the disk we have an index, we have a main. The main is showing up all this stuff, majestic, beautiful, great. But how do I see my web page? Where do I go to look at the web page? What does all of this mean? I literally was mind boggled by this process. And then I asked the question, none of you mother lovers went and checked on me? Many of you are too busy playing Chained Together to answer this question for me on the weekend. Everything is green. Everything is good. Whose idea was this? You beat it though? Okay, then clap it. Okay, it was worth it. Well, we can ask the question right now, right? We can do. Okay, first of all, I just don't know how to get anything. Like, I got the green lights. I got all the things. So what? I went to Discord. I got this shit to pop up. If I run this again, this will pop up. It says, okay, all green things, everything's successful, built code generated. But for the life of me, I don't know what this means. Like, I don't know where to go. There's a poop emoji. So, like, my question is, how do you get this shit to run? To the tradition of the samurai. Oh, you're probably right. It's probably because I'm not a samurai from Japan. I probably don't understand this. So, like, that's why I was sort of like, for the first time in a long time, I'm in a position where I'm being told I'm doing everything right, but I don't know how to gauge the results. Like, I made a CSS file in the SR, right? Where is it? Here for the home. But like, if I go to this disk, normally I would look at the index, right? I know that it is using the main JS, but should I change this to home JS? Because the home JS has the dynamic code. Maybe, I don't know. And if it's one of those things where it's just like, yeah, there's a reason why we don't use this method anymore, then all right, we can move the fuck on. But I wanted to at least see what the amalgamation of all of this is. Samurais, they usually put their CSS in a subfolder called CSS. That's just a detail, though. if you go back further, the older dynasties named the folder styles and not CSS. Dynasties. The dynasties. Taurus, I can tell that video tickled you. That video really tickled you. I'm happy you enjoyed it. My man's, it was the double strap shoes for me. He had ankle straps and toe straps. Like he was about to be in these streets crossing people the fuck up. But seriously, for the love of everything that's good, what the hell am I missing here? Matt, I told you it was your responsibility to tell me that the alert's back on. Ayo, Daffy. What's good? Thanks for the follow. Thought I missed you?
Thank you so much, best friend.
You think you the shit? Trick, you're not even a fart. I be going hard. No, I appreciate you. Hopefully your day is going great. Yeah, we don't want nobody like him coming to our chat. For the love of everything that's good, please stay your punk ass over there. The funny part for me was just he thought he was about to just come here and there was going to be a protest. Like there were going to be the lines of people. I want to talk to you, sir. I want the West to know. Like Japanese are so good at making games about themselves. They made a game about an Italian plumber from New York. And is the world's greatest video game character. That's how good Japanese people are at making video games. They don't even have to make games about themselves. I can't see the work that I'm doing. I don't know how. You just don't like Webpacks? No, I mean, I can't say I don't like them. I just don't know how to get it to work. So, if the Webpack is set up, how do I see? Because like whenever I'm programming the web page, normally I would have like it open to the right so I can see the work that I'm doing. The reason why I need it for this project in particular is because I think we're going to be doing something where, let me pull it up real quick. We're going to be doing something like this, where I need to be able to click into each one. And I think that's where the Webpack comes into place. Yeah, my second monitor is on the right, but I just didn't flip it. This is the project. I found the project online. So I was assuming that the reason why I'm doing this is because this feature, which is allowing me to click in between each of these sites, all in the same page, is how it's done. An honorable samurai wouldn't dishonor. Okay, so are you? If you guys are telling me I can skip this project, like me, do I not need to understand Webpacks? On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being a very important and 1 being dog water. Yeah, but I'm gonna be the newbie. I'm gonna be the one that's gonna be stuck suffering. They're gonna expect me to do it. It's already built in some tools like Next. You wouldn't give it to a junior? I just needed to work once. Just make it work once. And literally, when I hit enter on this shit, it runs through everything. Maybe. And it says successful. If getting that green thing to say successful is more than enough, I'll move the fuck on. Because I was under the impression that it was gonna be, that's how I was gonna make the web page work. I'm the junior. I think that even if you do plan to turn yourself into a web developer, I think Webpack is maybe a 4 out of 10 in terms of importance. I only learned Webpack when I had to. I think you are better off building a solid foundation in modern JavaScript, HTTP, best security practices for web, and maybe a good. All right. But can anyone explain to me, like, okay, once I have the web package set up, if I wanted to just see the page that I was building so far, how would I do that? I think that will make me feel better. If I can at least see the page that if this folder is holding the files that supposed to be viewable, how do I view those things? We have multiple files that are streaming across each other, so we have this disk folder that holds the index. Should it? Oh. Oh, okay, wait a minute. So that's a misconception I had. I was thinking that the web packets were acting as a like compiler of all things. If you're telling me that it's just the web packet is just giving me access to bullshit that I can use in JavaScript? Oh, I guess that does make sense. It's just like the imports from Python. Okay. A bunch of stuff into JS land. Okay. So I can build this the way I want to build this. Okay. Okay, 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 okay. Building is a bundling is a core concept irrespective of what tool you use to do the concept. Okay, so this concept makes I think like the light bulb is almost. I'm in the dark and I'm looking for the light switch. I'm almost there. At some problem exists in C problem in the system. C processor. Okay, so then we can move past this. So then when I make my web page, how is this effect being done? Because this page isn't reloading. So that means there's a listener where if I click on the listener, it changes it dynamically. So I wrote it. You have to write everything in you have to write the JavaScript in DOM. Oh, wait, shit. Oh. So basically, in your HTML, you have this basic here. You have a listener that listens for the menu, and then the menu in JavaScript will change everything dynamically on this page. But in order to be able to better reference it, you write it all out in HTML and then come back to it and use CSS. You can use CSS for the file. So the big misconception is I was trying to use Webpacket when in reality I probably don't need it. Yeah, so I feel confident enough to say I feel like that would be the way you would do it. You would use the DOM to change these dynamically. You would have the home as the main, your CSS will be the same. You would then use the menu. You would then use a listener for these two buttons, for all three of these actually. And it would dynamically change it using DOM. That would actually be pretty difficult. Not difficult to do, but like tedious, because you would have to write it twice. You would have to write it once in the HTML, until you're good enough. So you see it, you can see it, you'll be like, oh, okay, this is what it looks like. And then you would have to convert it to JavaScript. I think it's tedious, but it's a weekend project. Is that a fair assessment? Do you hear me? Can you see me? We gonna be all right. Okay. Now I'll take that to the bank. I think I was expecting a lot more from it, but it's just that. It's just a way of me gaining access to things that I didn't have access to. OOP, object-oriented programming. I remember this from Python. The whole series of lessons has been about OPP. All right, screw it. We might be able to start this shit today. Hey, yo, what's up? My son, what's good? Did you, my son, did you ever watch Windbreaker? Have you seen Windbreaker yet? And I watched Kaiju number 8. I finally watched Kaiju number 8. And I think Kaiju number 8 is good. And I can't say it wasn't good because I binge watched all 12 episodes. But it didn't hit. I felt like I should feel something for that character and the way his life is going, but it just didn't hit. But I mean, the action is good, and I think the fact that they made 12 episodes and we don't even know who the bad guy is really interesting. I find the world to be fascinating. And never show the prototype to the customer because they will demand that you give it to them, and then you're screwed. Oh yeah. Under promise and over deliver. You want these 3 things? Okay. You want 12 things? All right, but if you could only pick 6, what would they be? All right, cool. This is 6. And then you give them 8, and they'll love you for it. In simple terms, Webpacket is like a magical Lego organizer that finds, sorts, and combines all your website pieces into one easy-to-use package. It makes building and sharing your packages faster and more efficient, allowing you to focus on creating amazing things without worrying about the behind-the-scenes organization. Yeah, but the only thing is, I don't know I can't even tell. I don't know if it's being organized correctly. There's no indication of me knowing that I organized my stuff correctly. Sponsored by Webpacket. Yeah, hey, if you're out there, we'll take a sponsorship or two. That was my gripe. I got this successful thing, and I can't tell if anything else I did was right. I feel Webpack is the CMAC of the web dev world. CMake? Yeah. Because I'm never. I did a lot of work to get this. It took me 1 hour over the weekend to get this goddamn thing to turn green. And now that it's green, I feel like What was it all for? They played us like a fiddle. And so, like, if it's organizing something and I can send it to someone and then they can like put it all down, cool. But the example I showed here on this website, to your point, I just thought about this and I don't need a web packet for this. Unless there's something in here. So like, I'll make this over the weekend, or we can make this shit right now. We can put this shit to the test. But I'm not about to use this web packet bullshit to make this. Because if it's about organization, I just want to see that organization. I want to see the fruits of my labor. Yeah, let's have some fun with this, shall we? All right, so we got two things here. We have to make a to-do list, and we got to make that web page. And then we got to make a to-do list. Your to-do lists are going to be objects that you'll want to dynamically create, which means either using a factors, a construction, classes to generate them. Brainstorm what kind of properties your to-do item are going to have. At minimum, they should have a title, description, due date, priority. Your to-do list should have a project or separate list of to-dos. When users first open the app, there should be some sort of default properties to which all of their to-dos are put. Users should be able to create new projects and choose which projects their to-dos go into. To-do list. Man, what type of sponsorship bullshit is this? I just wanted to see an example. Oh, this is pretty cool because then it combines a few things. Man, that seems like a roundabout way of doing that. You gotta write HTML so that you can then write it dynamically, all while making sure it doesn't change. Okay, maybe this to-do list is pretty interesting. I like this example. You could add some flavor to this. Well, yeah, but like, I had no, it didn't occur to me. I guess I always knew eventually I would have to do that, but like, it was kind of it was kind of like off-putting knowing that I had to write this HTML just to delete it so I could write it dynamically. But then I was thinking, are there people good enough, or the expectation is that you'll eventually become good enough to write dynamically, period? And I was like, I don't know if that's reasonable, a reasonable request. Is that a reasonable request, that to expect people to just be able to write shit dynamically? The people that are good enough to do that are often experienced enough that they will not spend that level of energy trying to solve multiple problems at once. Okay. I do like this to-do list thing, so if we're gonna do this, then I think it's only right that we do the food truck one. So for the food truck one, since we can't figure out how to hell with the web packet. I think the logical thing to do is to make a listener that will listen for. So let's get rid of all this shit. Let's work from a place of understanding. So we have the home CS. We got the home JS. In the index HTML. So within the body, and then we'll have the home index. Can you attach two scripts to one HTML code? You have to. If not, then I guess we're literally back at square one. So the next one would be the menu.js. All right, we only have 3, so we're gonna bring in the menu, and then the about. And then we'll put dynamic listeners. So now we got one index HTML. We got the home. I wrote this shit over the weekend. Couldn't see it, but now we should be able to. So if I go here, and I be forgetting what that tag is up here, but we got to do a tag up here. Dashboard is an index. Link, pre-cut, pre-connection, viewport. Style sheet. Here we go. Thanks. Wake up, wake up, wake up. It's the first of the month. Yeah, I think it's just easier if we try and piece this shit together another way. Am I doing this right? Fuck's my tic-tac-toe. Oops. It's kind of crazy because I'm actually feeling pretty well rested. But maybe you're seeing the side effect of all the partying I did this weekend. I was in these streets this weekend. Or maybe this is the look of someone who's being beat up by web packets. You know, like, yeah, because in the beginning I told the story like I was in the I started off being the fourth wheel to pair off a third wheel, but my partner didn't tell me that there was 3 girls, so we had to juggle that situation. And I opted not to go home with this girl because I was like, it's just not the vibe. Like, I think you're cool to hang out with, but I feel like she would be difficult to get out of the house. I would have wanted her out of my house like 9 a.m. and she would have been trying, let's make waffles. Bitch, I don't got the type of syrup I like. Go home. I don't have the syrup that I like. Go home. I need the downtime. I just watched a few movies. Now I have to start moving and building content for this workshop next month, but I really need downtime. Yeah, that rest is important. That rest is important. I just feel like I've been down this road too many times. Like, my player card, I had to trade my player card in because back when I got my shit, they used to punch holes in it, and then I ran out of spaces to put holes in that thing. You feel me? Now I got the swipe and the chip and the the little barcode thing is wearing out. It's like, I've been here. I've been here, done this. I can tell you're not the one. And since I know you're not the one, I don't really have to. It behooves me to put that much pressure into it. And then I guess she and my homeboy, they link up because the girl that my homeboy was talking to, she passed out on the couch. Okay, cool. It does show. All right. I was under an impression it wasn't showing. All right, we can do this. We can do this. But then she's feeling guilty because, like, if I see her again this weekend, she gonna be like, oh, it's gonna be weird if I see your friend this weekend after what we did. And he's like, Hero does not know your name. Hero does not know your name. Lanky, what's good, baby? What's happening? And he's right. I don't know her name. It started with a P, though. And I'm real good at calling you. Y'all know this, because I don't know how to say y'all names. So whenever I'm talking to one of y'all, I always shorten y'all's name. And it's not because I think it's cool or anything. No, I'm dyslexic. I don't remember shit. I can't read. I can't read. So he was like, oh, you could text him. He'll tell you. It's cool. Like, if Hero really wanted to, he would have brought you with him. Say it. Say it loud. But, like, I feel like the summer is a perfect time for you to really just go out there and work on your craft, man. Work on your game. There's going to be a bunch of people outside. Work on your hellos, but more importantly, work on your motherfucking goodbyes. Too many people try to figure out how to say hi to a girl. I'm trying to figure out the best way to say goodbye. Because it's the goodbye that makes her come back. You feel me? I'm trying to put you guys on game right now. Too many of y'all worried about, hey, yo, baby. Shut up. Yeah, I'm telling the truth. I'm telling the truth. I'm telling the truth. You got to know how to say goodbye. That's the best way to get them to come back and say hello. You heard what she said? Should I text? She said, should I text him to tell him? And he was like, Hero doesn't remember your name. It's cool. Don't run from it, y'all. Don't run from it. Don't run from this responsibility. It's not good to ghost people either. It's not good to ghost people. And I'm guilty of this. I'm guilty of this. I'll get a girl's number while I'm outside. She'll be like, you better call me. I'm like, I got you. I got you. I had 300 text messages on Saturday. How many I got now? I got 305. It's stressful it's stressful talking to people. See, like my job, I talk all day at my job. I come here and talk on the internet. And when I'm outside with my friends, I don't like to talk. I like to listen. And when I feel like I have to talk when I'm outside, I feel like I'm working. Yag came in to shame me and left. No, it's absolutely draining. It's absolutely draining, and I think like it's in large part because and that's why I think you got to have a good balance of friends. I got the friends that I like to talk to. I got the friends that like to talk to me, and those friends I like to talk to. The friends that like to talk to me, I specifically like talking to them when I'm drawing. Call me when I'm drawing, so I know it's real. Okay. Okay. So I guess here I go reiterating the question I have. How do I get this to show up? Okay, so then here goes the question. How do I get the how do I get this shit to show up? Right? Here's the HTML, but we know we put it in the home. Oh shit, not this one. Yeah, so hey yo, get in the race. Lanky, go get her. So how do I get this to show up dynamically? Okay, here's a question. Does JavaScript run on developer tools in does JavaScript doesn't work on developer tools, does it? It does. Java Grunt, what's up? Okay, so why come? Hey, what's up, Java Grunt? Java Grunt, I saw that you were doing like a meeting or something like that. Like you were the head honcho speaking on some shit with your authority. It looked fun. It's in the self-promotion section of the Discord if you are interested. Java Grunt, if you want to give us a TLDR, I'd be more than happy to hear about it. Lanky with a vengeance. It can run, it typically runs either in browser or the V8 engine inside Node.js, but the V8 engine can run inside your developer tools. Lanky is defending my honor. Okay, but wait. What am I missing that is stopping this from working the way I would think? LLMs and generative AI is super easy to get going using Spring AI, not a Hadoop. Got to get some logging going on there, bro. Yeah, you're probably right. Even though I don't know what logging is. Whatever you're suggesting, I am 110% sure that you are right. Ah, damn it. Okay. Let's take it from the top, people. Let's take it from the top. Oh, console logs. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I was about to say, if this is some new witchcraft, you can't keep getting away with this. Serious question. Would it be acceptable to automatically post to the self-promo channel every time I go live? Or is that frowned upon? Hell no. That's what it's for. I think the thing that you would have to worry about moreover is like I'll be quite frank. I don't post in other people's self-promotion unless I'm directly asked to. But that is not me saying that you shouldn't. I encourage people to post in mine because I think people are very much interested in certain like other people's work than what I'm doing. But I think like for people who are using it as a means of growing, I don't think it's the best way to do it, because usually when someone comes to someone's specific Discord, they're looking for that specific person. And then it's like ingratiating. I think the better way to like get people to like come to your page and stuff like that. And I'm not talking about you, Java Grunt. I just remember this question being posed to me this weekend, and I didn't get a chance to answer it. So like I want to make this a clippable section. Is I think the best way to do it is to just put yourself into people's chat and conversations. But me, I welcome it. I think like I would love to see that promotion page grow, because it eventually, for me, what it would turn into is an archive, right? I would be able to then say, oh, look, we're starting to get this much type of stuff sent in to our group. Let's make this its whole dedicated page. And I'll turn to you, Java Grunt, and be like, hey, Java Grunt, you seem to be the spring savant of our group. Would you like being the mod of the spring book in the spring tab in our Discord? And you could be like, oh, no, I'm cool. Or you could be like, no, I'm just fine posting. But like for me, it's just more data and stats for me. But I think it's cool. But I think some people confuse like posting and people's promotion stuff with that's all you have to do to promote yourself. I think like showing up in people's chat is more important. Teamwork makes the dream work. Absolutely. Like I think I was in your chat the other day, and it was just like, you guys were talking about shit that went way over my head. But I was there. I was there. I don't care what Icon said. I was there. Yeah, there was someone who was like, there was a girl that used to come to this stream a lot, and she would just post in the general, hey, I'm going live. And I was okay with it. But then someone reached out to me and said, aren't you mad that she's like coming in here and posting? And like he even said like she's doing better, that she's getting more views than you now. And I was like, shit, I'm in there watching her too, so I can't be mad. But it did let me know that like people in my community were, even if everyone wasn't saying it, some people found it to be off-putting. So I was like, okay, well then let me create a space where everyone knows what it is. If you click on this tab, or if you don't want to get alerts from this tab, you can mute that tab. I think that's one thing I want to do too, is create a stranger class where it's like you can dictate what notifications you get, so you don't have to go around muting everything. Hey yo, Java Grunt, I think I appreciate that too. You're making me blush over here. I just don't know, and that's something that I've really been trying to do, and I don't know if I do have the will to do it, but I just don't know if people jive with it, because I honestly think I saw two co-working streams do it. There's no way in hell two people are co-working, streaming at the same time, and you both got 4 viewers, ayo, combined, fucking hit the fusion dance and hit that shit and just like, because now you got 8 and that seems great. So like for me, I would love like I've already been experimenting with this. I'm very comfortable getting people on the mic to come stream with me, but sort of like what Icon and me do on Tuesday, I want to just have people, whatever you're coding on your side, you code on your side of the screen. I'm gonna code on my side of the screen. You know? I have a prototype. I've been working on the back end. I just need to make sure that I have the power to do it. But like, what if my screen was just split in half? Right? My screen was just split in half. We're talking in the Discord, we're having discussion, but you're working on your thing, I'm working on my thing. And if you want to deep dive into your conversation with your chat, you know, you put me on mute so you can talk to them. But I got a plan. I got a plan. And then also it'll be a way of like for me giving back to smaller streamers, like somebody that wants to start streaming, and instead of them having to sit there with 1 or 2 viewers, hey yo, fill out this form. Fill out this form. It's another reason why I want to do this website. I mean, I don't really consider you a small streamer. I think by default it's kind of weird because I found you on Twitter and I was like, holy shit. Holy shit. You gotta quite the following. Retweet some of my shit. But like, I want to create the website, my website, and my website, there'll be a form where you can sign up, be like, hey, I'm a streamer, I want to do this with you. So it could be like, hey, I want to interview you. Or it's like a form that I could send to someone and be like, hey, what's your stats, your information? So like when I introduce you, I'll be like, oh, this is this person, this is what they do, this is how they work at this project they're working on, this is why you should follow them. It's just a cue card for me to be able to quickly reference, and it'll be your social links there so that I can have that input it and import it onto the screen, so when people are looking at you, they can see you. Because in my mind, the more people watching, the more people watch. Right? I think it's tweet. But yeah. But yeah, I think that would be like amazing. So like if Static Gamer, you wanted to come make your game, or like say for example, you're making a game and you want it should be the strangers at the strangers something. I probably need to change that because I thought that link would let you send a tweet out and it would at me. No, it should have never strangers coder because you can't put all those words.
How you trying to get the drop on us? I'm on the flyer. The dog made hits by the trunk, but not the tires. Every rapper's got to shoot for the sun till time expires. If you insist on always bringing that gun, hire drivers. Buyers walking by, setting off the porch lights. One day I'm gonna meet my match, but it's gonna be a dog fight. Brody got a block, it's doing 30 on an off night. Gave him a quarter block, some fake 30.
So yeah, I think like, I think that's like where I want to. This is where I want to. That's where I want to take this channel. Like, I would like to start doing like a forum. Because there's too many smart, brilliant people in my chat that shouldn't have to fucking buy a camera, get a mic, PC, and some more shit just to engage with the community. And I'm not sure if that's my job, but I think it's a great opportunity. I think it really comes down to what your goal is. And remember, we have a hierarchy here. I think I'm a coward. Oh no, it's an ad break. I'll wait for him to come back because I think that was a good question he asked. I tweeted immediately, dropped by too. Yeah, but for me, Java, a large part of, like, for me, my viewership isn't the goal for me as it stands right now. I think my viewership has to grow within the community before I can reach out. Because I think two people have proven something to be true. You know, the Primogen and Thor, Pirate Software, have both proven that this category can welcome people. And not even speaking of Lana, who averages like 400 viewers a stream. They've proven that this category has the demographic and numbers to do it. But you need something else to bring more people here. And I did a poll recently on my YouTube channel and asked them, how did you find my YouTube channel? And a lot of them said streaming or one of the videos I made. So I know I have to keep making video content so people on YouTube find me. Then they find me on live one day and then they come here. So I need to find a way of getting more people to come to me because I've already kind of touched everybody. Ooh, no pun intended. I've already kind of touched everyone in the category. You know? And then once I have a secure number here, I can then go into the bigger pond, like just chatting. Right? Because I think I have the Riz. I think I have the Riz to captivate and motivate the audience. And also, you know, the responsibility on me. I've been pushing it on for a long time. But on Saturdays, I need to pick up the fucking game controller. I need to pick up the game controller and draw. I mean, and play a few video games. And then when people ask, oh, what else do you do on this? Oh, I see you code. Oh, I want to watch that. You know? Oh my God, JK came in with the violence. If you want, Lanky, if you could put that Discord link in my chat, because I can't post links here.
Prepare for war now. Yo, listen, man. Black. Balls on, listen. Hold on. Balls on 95, home of the best rappers on the planet. Skills over politics, that means bring your pen game, not your name. My brother, I appreciate
Strategic, let me know when you're back. Or can somebody put that in the chat? That'd be great. So he knows to inform us. Networking is key, absolutely. It's fundamental. Oh shit! Like, damn, hell yeah! Send that link to me. That's definitely a link. I would like, because like it would give me the ability to, like, once I'm confident enough to make something for someone, to like go do that. No, absolutely, and I think like connections is key. Connections are key, paramount. One of the contracts I'm talking about with someone right now was, simply, hey, could you just stream our interface and use our work face and we'll pay you just to do that. And I was just like, oh, seems good, but I for right now, I don't have a firm understanding of Dockers and Kubernetes and shit like that, which I'm like, I was trying to do 2 for 1. I was like, hey, if you pay for me to learn how to do this, I'll stream this. And they were like, they got to go talk to their subordinates. And I thought that was great. Because eventually with this channel, I think that's going to be the next mountain I have to climb here. Because I'm not, while I do have a creative mindset, I think there's a standard for creation in the web dev universe. So I think firmly I'll be placed in the back end and management and how that works. While it'll be nice to know, I could add a button here or there, edit and do cool shit like that. But like, the more that I get into web dev, the more interested I get in the back end and making the cool interfaces work. And we haven't even touched like the data back end part of it. But I remember Static asked the question about, is it worth affiliation? And I always tell people, if you come to Twitch, if you're coming to Twitch and your objective is to become profitable or famous, then affiliation is the goal, because partnership comes after that. But if you're coming here just to be held accountable, it's not worth having to fill out another 1099 on your taxes. It's not worth it. It's not worth the headache. It's not worth the trouble. I started an LLC because I enjoyed the business that I was doing here. But ultimately, I'm still hesitant to push all the way, because I don't think I've reached the minimum. And if I was listening to my own advice, I would say, so what's the minimum? What sign do you need to confirm that you are ready to move next? All right, what do you wait on? But then it comes down to like, you know, just what your ultimate goal of streaming is. Some people stream because they like camaraderie, the groups, the friends, the community, and that's enough. That's more than enough for them. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend. I'm not even going to sit here and lie to say that, yeah, I'm here to try and figure out how to make money. And you don't have to be on camera. So and I'm lucky. I'm fortunate in the sense to say that, you know, I've had to be in front of the camera from a young age. It's something that I've become comfortable with. But more importantly, I enjoy making content. I thoroughly enjoy making shit that makes people think, laugh, get angry. It's stuff that people hate on, stuff that people love, stuff that that inspires folks. There's something magical about putting the glimmer of hope into someone's eye. That little twinkle. Before you were a twinkle in my nutsack, you were a twinkle in my eye. There's something magical about seeing someone. And maybe that's why I went into healthcare. Because I thoroughly enjoyed seeing people who didn't have a second chance in hell get an extra day. There's something about laughing in the Grim Reaper's face. Lanky, did you send me that message on Discord? Or you can whisper it to me, however you want to send it. But I would be remiss to sit here and say like I'm not invested in. I didn't put all this work into this. I don't make these videos. I don't stay up and edit my own shit because, oh gee, Willikers Batman, I really enjoy programming. Okay, thank you. No, I enjoy programming, but I'm not a fool. I know the bills got to get paid somehow. And my goal was to use all the money that I made here to improve this and maybe hire an editor and give someone else hope on how they want to handle this. So like so the realization I came to is every time that I sit here and think small or say, oh, I'm not ready for this, I'm not ready for that, I'm only hindering myself. And it's because I'm afraid. And it's okay to be afraid. It's okay to be uncomfortable. What's not okay is to stay that way. That's some disrespectful shit. So, if you gotta make a VTuber so that you feel comfortable streaming, do that. If you don't want to turn on your camera, hey, go tell people go fuck themselves. I'm a ghost. You can't see me. John Cena. You don't want to talk? Willow streams to 58 people every day. She's never said a goddamn word. I had to call her one day just so I could hear what her voice sounds like. I'll forgive you for being nervous, but I'll never forgive you for not trying. People fail every day. A lot of y'all wouldn't be here if your mammy told your daddy no and he didn't try again. A lot of us wouldn't be here right now. Yeah, you know, we're a family friendly show here. You feel me? Go fuck yourself. We're friendly as hell, boy. And I think I saw that the other day. I was reading one of the metrics, I guess, for my stream, and it was saying that I have a good curse to non-curse ratio. Like I would be deemed by a sponsor to be appropriate since I don't have to curse. Which I was like, all right, cool. But yeah, we gotta, because for me, I look at people like Primogen and the Pirate Software and think to myself, fuck, like I could do that. I could do that. But it's the difference between saying you could do something and executing it. So, and you also gotta remember, you don't have to copy anybody. You can be yourself. You're more than enough. I'll sponsor this stream 100 free hot dogs. You the Glizzy King or some shit? You out here? Why you got 100 glizzies on you? What's going on? Hey, yo, what's going on? I wouldn't trust you on a hot summer day in a park. Talking about, hey, man, you want a glizzy? Just trying to help. Hey, helping is as simple as like, share, subscribe. That's it. Like, there's a lot of people like, there's goals like Twitch. There's like money involved. Y'all can kick it for free. But if you don't come here and at least like, share, or subscribe, and I guess the subscribe is for YouTube. It's nothing to share this on Twitter. That shit's free. So like I'll pose the question. Let's say you've been here with me for 1 hour. And you're not subscribed. And you don't have to be. And you're like, damn, Hero does make some great content. I enjoyed it. I'm going to come back again tomorrow. I appreciate that. But if I had to ask you if I had to ask for help with anything, I would just ask, yeah, just like or share this shit. Because there's someone who's almost as decent as you. Probably not as good looking. But they want to be here too. Right? They want to be here too. And they can't. Because you holding out. You gatekeeping on the Hero. Not everybody can go to the Watchtower in the Justice League. But the ones that can, let's get their ass in here. Hey, yo, Rob, I mean, everyone's a stranger. And if you know anything about me, I give a stranger the shirt off of my back, but best believe I take the shirt off of someone else's back too. If I catch you in these streets. Woo! I totally agree with that aspect too, Java Grunt. I think it took me a year. Like, remember, I had a separate other channel where I talked politics, and that was all the rage to me, and I wanted to be that dude. I so badly wanted to be like Hassan Piker. Like, I just knew the politic world like that. But then it dawned on me that echo chamber is very small. It's a niche group of people that aren't looking for more information. Political people don't really seek other people's information. And that's when I found out you have to stream your content to certain places where it matters. So for example, on YouTube, I found out that short form content does better than long form content. What do I mean by that? So on YouTube, on YouTube, I specifically stream the vertical slice, because people can see it when they're swiping through. And since it's long form as hell, people run into it more. So when I started doing long form, like the vertical slices of this content, I noticed that my YouTube views started to go up higher. And then people would stay there, and then they would come to the live stream, and then here we are. Right? Bedtime for me. Hey, I appreciate you. And I appreciate you. Get some rest, man. I think I'm going to do a live stream tomorrow. I'm off on Wednesday. Not doing the stream with Icon in them, so I'll probably work out and do a daytime stream. But like, so YouTube was a platform built for video content first, right? It was built for video content first. And I heard the stories that, Thor made with shorts and stuff like that. But his shit works because he already has 20,000 people following him on YouTube. So even if he sent it to his immediate group, that's 20,000 views immediately. I don't have 20. I only got 700 people. And of the 700 people, only 6% of my viewers will come watch it. New people will come watch my stuff more than my current viewers. And that's no diss to my subscribers. But you gotta think about these things when you want to do it. So for example, if I do stream on YouTube, I'm only gonna stream the vertical slices. But YouTube, if you ask people, when I did my poll, 38 people responded. How did you find me? Shorts, video, live stream, another platform. Video was the number one. Live stream was second. Shorts was third. Other platform was fourth. Live stream and shorts were tied. We're basically 1% away from each other. So, and then I think Kick is a cesspool. Whenever I do stream there, I don't find anybody, because the categories aren't well defined. Yeah, and for me that's because at least I know when I'm coming to this stream, because there's 100 times where I'm sitting here and I'm not streaming. But I have to remember, one thing I think I got really comfortable with doing is just working on camera. And I'm okay with doing that as long as that's not what I'm doing when I promise to be content for you guys. So if you guys come here from 8 to 11 and you're just watching me just silently being here or being on the phone and shit like that, I think that's a disservice to you, because on my cue cards it says this is the time that I'm streaming, right? This is when I'm coming here to engage with you all. I'm coding with strangers. But if you see bonus stream in my title, I'm trying to do a service, right? I'm trying to be on some, I'm here, I'm engaged, but I didn't want to be engaged alone. So that's how I differentiate it. And I have to do it more, because there are people who are here, or there are people who will be there in the morning that won't be there at night. And I think it's important for you to be able to engage with people across platforms. And that's why I think I need to play games. Like when I'm playing video games with my friends, maybe I need to stream that. Maybe because once again, what if someone's out there who wants to get into coding, programming, they stumble into my horrible gameplay, and then they just happen to see that, oh, he makes games and shit like that. That's cool. No, that's kind of cool. Right? I need to get back to drawing on stream. Well, right now I wasn't drawing on stream because I didn't want to post the spoilers. But now that I'm in the part where I'm cutting up, I'll start posting the comic book streams again, because, oh, you draw? You have a comic book? I didn't know that. And the content thing for me was done on purpose, right? The best video I've ever made in my life. There's two videos. I have one. One is a short that I made on Instagram that got 3 million views and like 600,000 like views in one day. It blew up. And I took that and I said to myself, how do I translate this? Because that's where all the followers came from. And all the followers asked me, all the people that asked me said, do you have any more content? So then I was just like, so maybe it isn't enough for me just to go live. So then I started doing lives, and that's when I do the news articles in the beginning of the story, in the beginning of the stream, right? Usually when a stream starts, for me, it'll be 1 or 2 people in here, which is fine. Like, I'm not a fucking alarm clock. I don't pay your bills. And I thought to myself, 2 things that happen at the beginning of the stream that makes it very jarring. One, if I just get into coding or programming. One, if I was working with someone yesterday and they're not ready because they're not on my schedule, then I'm just kind of sitting here doodling my fingers or reading, and that's not entertaining. So then, but then the second thing I think I worry about, is because it's slow, I don't have anything to talk about. So when people who are new come here, they see someone who's not talking, they say boring, keep going. So that's when I decided, well, I know I need content and I'm going to be streaming for 3 hours. For the 3 hours, I'm not going to be streaming coding. Can I make content for 30 minutes? And the answer is yes. My second greatest video ever made was a 14-minute long video about AI and ChatGPT flirting with you. And I thought that was just a regular 300 view video. That was going to be the extent of it. And it garnered 12,000 views and pushed me into the possibility of becoming a partner this year. Until that video, I didn't think I had a shot. So then it dawned on me, damn, that was only 2 weeks into me even making content. So if every 2 weeks I can come up with a gem like this, every 2 months if I could come up with just one gem like that, it would solidify what I'm trying to do here. And it would also prove that it works for me. So that's where, like, for me, the idea of making content comes from. And it goes back to what I originally wanted to do. I enjoy making content. I need to find a way of doing the things I like. Because at the end of the day, you gotta like your shit first. Hey, yo, Kenny. Thanks for the follow. Star, I see you. I appreciate that follow. Booba Troop, who you giving gifts to? I appreciate that gifted sub. Java Grunt. Java Grunt, appreciate the bits. I appreciate the bits. Appreciate that. But yeah, I'm not even gonna stunt and say like, you know, the content that I'm creating is now I'm not creating this content to not be noticed. I'm creating for, and I think that's the thing that I'm waiting on, right? Once I've hit this level where I've been recognized as a person who can make consistent content, you know, consistent content that rises to the occasion, that the platforms I'm on find it profitable, I think then it'll be okay for me to then start letting sponsors who reach out to me actually engage with me. Because of all the sponsors that reach out to me, I constantly defer, saying I don't think I'm at the level where it's appropriate for me to be asking my viewership to support me financially, right? And they were like, and some of them look at me, but like, I think you gotta answer to your moral code. You gotta answer to somebody. So answer to yourself. Answer to yourself. And this is and I'm coming from a position where 2 years ago I thought I was never gonna make content again, and then I lied on my fucking resume, and here I am, right? One lie brought me here. If I told 2 lies, where would I be today? No, I'm just. Hey yo, thanks for the bits. Java Grunt. Hey yo, pass it out. Java Grunt getting a gifted. We see you. Java Grunt, appreciate you giving out 1, 2. Oh y'all, I'm gonna pay. I'm paying the bills today. It's the first month. I'm paying today. I'm honest about my life. It's all good. Somebody always. That's what people always ask me. They're like, "How does your job let you keep your job after lying?" And I'm like, because I fooled them. You know how embarrassing that lawsuit's gonna be for them if they were like, yeah, we fired him because he lied, but he passed the test. Yeah, but he still lied. But wait. He passed the test. And also, no real job is ever going to. There's any job that's asking for more than 3 years of experience, and the job doesn't include you dissecting out a lower artery, a bifurcating artery off of the liver, right? I think you'll be fine. I just want to see a place where we give people opportunities to fuck up, because people who are good at their job fuck up every day. You mean to tell me you don't got enough fuck ups for me to try? Just give me one. That's the frustrating part. Oh, we're looking for someone. We're looking for someone who has 3 years of AI experience. Bitch, it just got here. Who's gonna have that experience? Yeah, we're looking for someone who knows what they're doing. Do y'all know what y'all doing? No. So you don't think the collective room of us could do this shit together? You don't think we could figure this shit out? I really think we take for granted how amazing people are, and how some of the inventions we have. The combo, one of the greatest fighting games in the world, Street Fighters. Its combo is based on a bug. That was not the intended result. And now it's a staple of fighting games. Twitter. Yeah, for me, maybe because I feel like I'm new to this ether. But like one thing that I learned, like probably that hindered me a little bit, was after like getting good. After like, okay, I told the lie. I did the work, I got in, and now I want to take a more practical approach to programming, right? I want to get more in depth. I want to learn more. I want to do more. And it's just like there's no space for, like, I'll be willing to take a pay cut. For me, it doesn't matter. I could do surgeries on the weekend. I'll take call at night. Right? But it's no argument, it's no debate. And like and before I was kind of a fiend, I was kind of a loser. I would be like, oh, I gotta work for a tech company. Bitch, Home Depot has an IT department. Go work for Home Depot, motherfucker. So I have to like I'm just gonna keep on building. And I think one of the more impressive conversations I had an interview with a dude out of Boston who was looking for a software engineer, and after looking at my work, he says straight face, he was like, you built all of these projects in less than 1 year, and I have 23 projects in my GitHub, and he was like, I was like, yeah, and he was like, and you explain pretty well how it works, and he was like, your code looks so elementary, and I was like, well, I have to explain my code to myself, and I'm a firm believer that what makes someone an expert is their ability to explain it to a novice. Pigs Fall, what's good? Yeah, if I was trying to teach someone how to dissect out a heart, I'm not going to use all those big words. I'm literally going to say, hey, you see that? You see that? You see that arch? It's called the atrium. I don't want you to cut on the outside of the arch. I want you to cut in the inside of your arch. But yeah, there's a whirlwind of there's a whirlwind of people out there. Oh no. That side of the screen is blank on purpose. It had something in it, but we're trying to figure out how to make this dynamically work, and we think that the only shit is that might have said that because we would question how would you do it with some complex problem. Oh wait, what's Pigs talking about? Yeah, I think we're actually, I think for this project, once I see how that transition works, I'll be good with it. Then it's the object oriented for the task list, and I think the task list is the last one, and I think those are both worth doing. But I think it is worth me still doing these projects, but I think they're more weekend projects. I'm ready for React. It's getting to that point, especially with the fact that, you know, the two side projects that I could have been paid for, their main thing was you have to know React. And I was just like, God damn it. But you just want me to change what I was able to assess was three lines in their code for the JavaScript had depreciated, and I guess this was on a server, and I was like, oh shit. I was like, I don't know. I don't have enough. I've never worked on a server, so I don't know how changes are made there, and I just had to back out. It was one of those situations where, you know, it was a good conversation, the person liked me, but I actually just didn't have the skill. All of that's, yeah, Neptune, the server conversation and all of that shit is gonna come. That's the next step, right? That's the next thing for me. And that will really just dictate if I stay in this category, because it'll dictate if I stay in web development or if I go back to Python development. Like if I go back to, because I think from a data science perspective and how I manage patient data. So I want to learn how to do AWS, Azure, and then I have a server down here on the ground. I want to be able to live host myself. So I need to learn those three. And I know a little bit about AWS because I see somebody showing me love on YouTube. Learn full stack web first. Yeah, that's probably. I can help you with self-hosting stuff too. Java Grunt, you're gonna be my hero. I already know this, and my goal is to make sure Java Grunt knows how much I love and adore him. But that's why I made this channel. I made this channel so I don't have to do this shit on my own. Because if y'all were here for my first stream, the first stream consisted of me for 1 hour and 55 minutes trying to open up a VS file. That was it. That was it. Spent 1 hour trying to learn how to do that shit. And then I got raided by Stragger. Shout out to Stragger, pillar of the community. Hey, what up, Robo? Yeah, the vibe is on now that you're here. You know. So I got and then Stragger was like, "Oh, all you got to do is hit CD, and then type in the folder, and then type in the file." And I was like, "Oh my God, that's great! That's thank you so much. You helped me, and you did it." So I was like, "Is there any more advice you could give me?" And this man, do you guys know who Stragger is? Yeah, Stragger hasn't been. I actually hit him up on Twitter and said he basically essentially said he's busy, but and I asked this man he just dropped 180 people here. They're all typing fast as shit in the chat, and please, for the love of everything that's good, give me some advice. It's me on Pixie from Twitch. Hey, I appreciate that. Yeah, I can see your chats on YouTube. And he says to me with a straight face, "Yeah, just keep typing." I was like, "You have any advice for me?" And he says, "Yeah, just keep typing." I was like, this motherfucker. That's another video topic I want to do. There was a story I read on Reddit about a guy who was giving Doomer advice to a bunch of new incoming engineers, talking about the day and age of software engineers and data engineers are done. It's over. Trading your keyboards for a fucking toolbox. And I instantly wanted. I was just like, go fuck yourself. Like, I just hate people like that. Gatekeep, like people who are afraid to share information because they know if they had even an ounce of competition, they would be outplayed. There's something lethargic about someone who used to come, like when someone comes back to my stream after being gone for a while and looks at my code and says, "Damn, you're as good as me now." That's a humbling ass thing to say. But kudos to you to have the wherewithal to give someone their flowers. Too many people give people their flowers when they're already dead. So, no, I did a video about TechLead, but the video I did about TechLead was about his scam coin. But the CEO of NVIDIA strikes me as one of the weirdest people to say some shit like that. Because he got his start sitting in a Denny's booth with two of his other friends after leaving a computer science program where they sat down and taught each other for hours. 4 hours. It's been 3 hours since we've been sitting here talking about programming. We just figured out what the fuck to do with the webhook, and now we're going to dynamically enter this, and if we finish all this stuff and we manage it, we're going to move on to React. So you're going to tell me all of that growth, all of that aspiration, you don't want no one else to experience that? That's selfish. So the CEO of NVIDIA basically said, "Hey, programmers, stop learning how to program. Learn how to be prompt engineers, because engineers are going to be replaced by AI." And anybody who has seen AI on a serious level understands its range of capacity. I'm not a doomer on AI. I think there's potential there. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen it identify bad cancer cells. But the story we were gonna do today. Detroit police can no longer use facial recognition as a result of soul bias for arrest, because they used an AI generated thing to pick out a criminal and they were wrong, and they've had this dude in jail for 3 months. That was the story we were going to talk about today, but we talked about Assassin's Creed instead. So I've seen the good that it can do, but I'm innately aware of how dumb this shit is, and how greedy people will try and make it work. So when you hear someone like that crush the mind's eye of people, imagine like you're a programmer, or you just spent $100,000 to go get your degree in that, and you're being told that it's pointless by one of the richest company CEOs in the world. It's irresponsible. As a provider of knowledge or a holder of knowledge, your job is to inspire people to surpass you. This is the problem with learning. This is why I think education should be free. If education was made free, it would inspire people to push the limits of it. But because it's gatekept, you can have people lie about it, fabricate it. We already know the winner is the person that's going to write the history book. My main language is Java. I recently started working with web development. Yeah, I started web development probably a month and a half ago. Money and power does do crazy stuff to people. I mean, it has a monetary incentive to say something. He does have a monetary incentive, but you mean to tell me, like, how much fucking money do you need? You don't have enough? You can buy an island, you can buy a yacht to go to that fucking island, and then you can buy a helicopter to fly between the three of them. You're good. And needless to say, you could keep making your money. Why you gotta crush other people's hope? When you take hope from a person, that's a prison sentence. Hopeless people go to jail, and even those bastards get out. I just never understood. Like, I before I go into surgery, I look at a person and I know they're fucked. I know they're fucked. Dude, I can't win this battle against the Grim Reaper. But why would I take that hope from him? Why would I take that hope from him? I tell him, I look him in the eye. I'm gonna do the best I can. And I'm gonna fight with the devil and God to bring you back. But I need you to hold on and stay away from that light. Oh, it's atrocious. It's atrocious. If like I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be on some techno terrorism type shit if I can't figure out how to make code work without talking to an AI, an artificial machine, right? Ayo, damn, thank you so much for that prime. I appreciate it. Oh shit, I didn't even know we hit the 13. Oh, we hit the 13, baby. And Mars, thanks for the follow. Jace, TD man, what's good? I appreciate you following on YouTube. What was your hardest coding error that you were eventually able to fix? I think the hardest one for me was when we made this bot. the MVP, the first version of this bot, I had it working based on a library, and I had a situation where I was calling something before it was ready to be made, in a rare situation where someone entered the race before their name showed up in the prominent list, since the list rotates every 10 seconds. And that bug was so big, it introduced refactoring. So the MVP, this version 2 of this is what we see today. But before that point, I had never refactored my code. And I think refactoring helped me learn how to roadmap. It taught me how to use classes in a way where it silos off code from other code. And that's what you have to really do. You have to, once your project gets to a certain size, you're really just walling it off from other parts of your code so it doesn't interact unless you want it to. So refactoring was probably the biggest code I ever faced. Ayo, my son, what's good? Thanks for resubbing. I appreciate that. 12 months? You been here with me for 12 months? That's love. Damn, Robo came in and said, nah, I've been here for longer, bro. The 12-monther with the hype train to go with it. What made me start coding? I think I got tired of not knowing how computers worked. Like, I spent too much time I played too many video games as a kid growing up. I spent too much time in front of a computer. I spent too much time having problems that no one seems to have solved yet for me to not know how this works. So it was just out of curiosity. 2025? Oh man. There we go. Hype train initiated. I appreciate that, Java Grump. What were some of those problems? I think one of the problems that come to mind immediately was I have an iPod. The original 5th generation. I've upgraded it twice where it holds 2 terabytes worth, 2 terabytes, and the screen, I want to change the screen out to make it touch screen. But basically, I had 10,000 songs on here. And I told myself, I'm going to die a miserable death if I know that there's a way that if there's songs out there that I could listen to, if I could listen to them, but it would take me forever to be able to find them, right? It would take me forever. Hear me out. So we took the API using Python from Spotify. And when you take the API from Spotify, you find out that they have a list of sure ways for advertisers to put songs to you. So for example, if you listen to Korn and you listen to one Britney Spears song, they're going to keep throwing Britney Spears at you, even though you probably just clicked that on accident or your sister got a hold of your iPad. So what I figured out was they had other ways of gauging music, like danceability, like soothing ability. Appreciate the bits. Thank you so much. 101. Appreciate you. My what's that? My sheep plays. Appreciate that follow. So then after that, we get a bunch of once you look at the API, there's like 43 other keynote things that you can like tempo, bass, danceability, liveliness of the song, sorrow, good vibe, good feeling, shit like that. There was so many other things that you could equate it. So basically I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to pick 100 songs from my iPod that I like, top 100 listened to songs on my iPod, put their logistics into an algorithm, and then have Spotify, based on these algorithms, pick songs that I would love. And look at this is how you know how accurate this shit was. The first time we did this, we didn't have any parameters like outside of just those values. They literally picked remixes of every song until it got to 100. It was like, oh, okay, no problem. We'll just pick the remixes. And then we had to set up a parameter to say, okay, it can't be the same exact song. And it has to be a deviation of 3 or some shit like that on certain things. And for me, in my mind, I was like, oh, okay, cool. We got it work. So then we got all the songs to work. Perfect. So like now I'm able to build that music, that iPod list, so I can keep adding to it whenever I want. Another thing that I had a problem with was when I used to make content on my other channel, I would have to convert it into not a podcast. So I had to put it on Google, Spotify, Podcaster, so on. So it was just going everywhere. And then for me, I was just like, I don't have 4 hours every Sunday to upload, cut, re-download. Wrote a Selenium script that logged me into everything, plugged in the song correctly, downloaded it correctly, and edited it correctly, and did it all for me. 4-hour task turned into a 10-minute task. Then I came here, right? This bot. Love this bot. This bot is literally you guys running around my map, right? But I was concerned that the people lurking, people who were like, on my screen it shows 25 people are watching this right now. On YouTube it says 15 people are watching it. So there's a 10-person differential. Where's those 10 people's coming from? And what I found out was, yeah, there are sometimes bots in my chat. Now, can I get rid of those people? Sure. But what would be more cool? Finding a way of getting people to identify themselves as viewers. So like, say for example, you don't want to talk in my chat, no problem. This is what this was made for. So now you can join the race and you can be on some, I'm in the background chilling. And you can throw stuff, you can do this. Right? And then if I wanted to be like, oh, okay, what about the people who do enjoy talking in my chat? All right, no problem. I'll give them a way to identify themselves too. All right, we made this in Python. So, right, all of the bots I've made in Python. Thank you guys so much for the hype train too. Lanky, thank you for the 102. Robo, thank you for the 40. Thank you for the bits. I'm going to pay the bills this week, baby. We going out to eat Chinese this Friday, man. We going to eat good. We gonna eat good. We gonna eat good. Trump is a god. Hey, I believe you, Anonymous. So like for me, every bot that I've ever built, has been with the intent of solving a problem I have. The thing about it is, and I don't think that's a fair assessment. Like, I hear you, TD man. Being afraid that AI is going to take your job, but I implore you, don't do the job that AI can replace you with. There are certain things that AI is not going to be able to replace everybody with. And competition is king, right? Everybody got to work. But if you are learning programming to make stuff that people have already made, to make things that people can already do, AI wasn't going to replace you. A person is going to replace you. That's in the industry, someone's going to replace you. So it behooves you to learn a skill set or learn a technique that you can't take to the bank every goddamn day of the week. Oh yeah, Devin. Our BFF Devin. I made a whole video on Devin. 600 views. We ain't seen Devin in a minute. We getting the beef broccoli and the orange chicken. With the house special, hold the tofu, shrimp, beef, and chicken. Yeah, I know it's gonna be extra. Put that shit in my bag. I got 142 bits on screen. Put that shit in the bag. You know, whenever you ask for the, yeah, I want the house special, hold the tofu. Which protein? Shrimp, chicken, and beef. In one? Don't disrespect me. Look at me. Do I look like I want them separated? Put them bitches in the bag. Put it in the bag. No, it's crazy because people do hyperventilate. Fucking teachers were saying math teachers when calculators were born, they banned them from schools because they thought that math teachers were threatened because kids could calculate math. How's that shit going for them? I normally stream Monday through Thursday, 8 Central to 11, 12-ish. I'll probably do a daytime stream a few times this week because it's America's birthday and I gotta go celebrate. But I appreciate you. Yeah, and you know, and there's a world out there where I remember the first time I solved FizzBuzz. I did FizzBuzz with JavaScript, and I remember thinking to myself, and I think it was Taurus that told me this. He was like, this used to be one of Google's go-to questions in interviews, and he was like, yeah, the fact that you're able to solve this kind of puts you in that realm. And there's a world out there where like you have to be prepared for real world experiences. Hey, yo, what up, Stanley? I'll be here. But like, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend. I'm not gonna even sit here and pretend like when when that exam that I took, that I needed a 70 to pass to be offered an interview, and I got a 73. I wasn't up there pretending like I was some savant. I didn't lie to myself. I was like, motherfucker, I'm going to memorize as much of this shit as possible and do that. But guess what? I also learned every enzyme in the fucking liver, and I can't recall no more than 6, maybe 2. If you don't use it, you lose it. And if someone asked me to do FizzBuzz right now, I probably could do it. But the question is. They're not paying me to solve FizzBuzz problems. They're paying to see if I can think. And I'm almost sure a program like in those interviews, if your thought process is spot on, but your code isn't right, they can work with that. The crazy thing, someone's been coding for 3 years. That's actually crazy. But I can't knock him because has he been coding diligently for 3 years, or has he just been, working on projects for 3 years? But yeah, FizzBuzz, if he has a dedicated language, he should be able to do FizzBuzz. Like, that's one of the first things I can do. I can do it in console log, and I think I was even able to do it where. We did the FizzBuzz and we replaced the BU, the 2 letters, mostly school. Yeah, because I would use a for loop. Like, I know that there's probably a function you could write for it, but my function, like, I would go to a for loop to just put X in categories, and then write a switch statement. But I know there's like a mapping. There's some people who use mapping. But like the fact that I can even talk a little about intelligence, that would encourage someone to be optimal about it. Not in this market. Yeah, I get it, but it's hard, but also that's what happens when the standard I would definitely be able to walk myself through it, because the first time we did it, they presented it as a question, and then I saw it on Cold War, and the way I did it in Cold War was removed, reconnected, and then put it into a library. But like, I think one thing that we lack, at least in this category, is like mentorship. See, I get mentored by all of you strangers, so I'm never without someone's expert opinion. And you might be sitting here thinking, oh, I'm not an expert. Yeah, you are. You know more than me. You know more than me. But that's the problem. We don't have a good mentorship pipeline in the tech world. Yeah. Imagine. Imagine. You want to be a programmer? Yeah, but I don't like writing code. Interesting. And I think that's like why certain people respect me. In the sense that this isn't a gimmick. I'm not doing this for clicks and views. Because there's people that in this chat that I've hit up after hours on a Saturday morning and been like, can you explain some shit to me? You seem to know a lot. You mind preaching your gospel? Be in sales, be a product manager, be a product owner. Be a quality engineer where you literally are put a task to just run test. I agree, Robo. But I think there's a group of people out here that think like, and I think it's, I don't know what, there's a term for this. When you see someone do something, you're like, oh, I could do that. Hold my beer, and then you fucking do it, and your fucking front row is on the ground, and it's just like, what possessed you to think that you was just gonna do that shit? The sales does make more money, but for you to be in sales, you gotta be cutthroat. Nah, motherfucker, you gonna buy this shit. You gonna buy this. Hey, yo. Yo, I need you to buy this. Sales is a hell of a lot of a turn. I know that for sure. Yeah, but and you want to you show me someone who doesn't want to read show me someone who doesn't want to read technical documents. Like for example, like someone says, "Oh, I don't want to code." How do you think I got this motherfucking success right here? Java Grunt, you sent me that document saying this is how you do your webhooks. I read that document from head to toe twice. The first time, round, I didn't understand it. I had 3 errors. Read it a second time, found those 3 errors, fixed it. So you can't. So inherently, so like when someone says they want to be a programmer and they want to program, you're low key removing yourself from the equation, because you're showing that you don't have the appetite to read thick, exhaustive documentation. You're not curious, and you're living vicariously through people who are good at the job. All right, let's add a listener to this shit. Can we do this? Can I do this? I'm gonna get rid of you real quick. Fuck. Mistakes were made. Hey, yo, format this shit for me. Actually, I need this. Yeah. Okay, now let's fix this one. Alright, so I guess I just had one too many. Alright, cool, we're squared. Okay. You want to know the best way to describe people who talk about programming but aren't just ready to get their hands dirty? Have you ever been at the gym and seen the dude who has the elbow straps? He's got the chalk. He's got the wrist straps. He's got 2 belts on. He's got the knee straps. And then he proceeds to bench press 135 pounds. By no means is that not admirable. But in the process of him trying to bench press this, he clips the tip of the guardrail, and it causes the weight to shift. And because he doesn't have his clips on either side of the thing, the weight slides off, lands on someone's Achilles heels, snaps that, he's done. And then, of course, now there's only a 30-45 on one side. He can't hold it steady. He lets go of the bar. It swings the pole straight up and flips the bar and knocks someone out. When you don't know what the fuck you're doing, you're gonna hurt people around you. And when we trust you, when we there's a code of honorability in the gym, ethics of lifting. The big belly bros that everyone has come into this gym with the intention of getting better and not hurting anybody in the process. And when you betray that, we got to kick you out the club. Yeah, we're gonna wrap this up. We gotta get ready to, like, we're gonna probably stream tomorrow too. So during the daytime, we'll get the daytime going in. I appreciate you, Java Grant. Thanks for all. Hey, real quick before Java Grant goes, if you go to the Discord in the self promotion section, he posted a talk he did about AI and Spring. So if you want to learn about Spring, if you're interested in that and how AI is being integrated, I think it's worth a listen. But yeah, and I never want to be like, I get it. I'm a poser too. I love it. It's great. But at least I'm keeping it real. I'm not over here trying to bench press 400 pounds when I don't weigh 100 I weigh 150 pounds soaking wet. Oh yeah, if I stream tomorrow, I'm gonna be on some, because I think I have an initial interview. I have an initial interview with a tech company out of Boston. And I have a follow-up conversation with the Discovery, people from Discovery MasterCard. I think I really enjoyed the idea of me doing something in like fraud. Posers don't try to learn. I think that's a great assertion. Posers don't try and learn. Damn. Expert beginner. Expert beginner. Ah, that's a good one. Ah, that's a good one. Hey yo, what up? What up, Scavenger? Man, we trying to make this bullshit work. I promise, because if we figure out how to do this, we're not gonna make both those projects. I don't think making those projects and putting them in my portfolio will wow anybody. Oh, you made a to-do list? Congratulations. Good job. Where'd you copy it from? I don't want to have that conversation. The thing, okay, and this is the thing. There is a point where you go from novice to begin, like from novice to like intermediate to an expert, and it's quite simple. Novice need help with everything. Intermediate can handle what a novice can handle, but isn't brave enough to answer the question yet. They don't have enough experience. And then the subject matter expert is the person that comes up with the answers. They have to think. So like when I come into programming, when I first started, believe it or not, and people can tell this is the trajectory of my channel, right? My channel tells the path of a beginner to like wanting to be an expert. I'm in that intermediate spot where I'm not crazy enough to sit here and be like, I don't know what this does, and I can't begin to think about what to do next. Like, I see the fucking red. This is my problem. A novice just sees all the colors and says, I don't know what to do. I remember how terrifying this shit was when I first started. When I was so oblivious to code that I didn't even realize, like, the red was so not on my spectrum of colors, because I was like, oh, shit, I don't know what that red shit is doing. I wrote the stuff off up top. But now I keep my debugger open. That was something. If you were here in the beginning when I first started writing code, you couldn't get me to look at the debugger. You couldn't get me to look at the terminal. You couldn't get me to read the errors. You couldn't pay me money to look at that shit. So I think for me, it comes with your ability to take on responsibilities. Well, I guess more so the debugger for the debugger and the terminal mostly for like Python, right? So like, I think maybe I'm wrong about this, but I think like once you get to intermediate, you know you're an expert when an intermediate person is asking you questions that you can supply answers to. Essentially, it's all time. It's all time based. There are people that are gonna wake up and be savants. That are just gonna be good with it. They're just they got that shit on. When my girl wake up and she just looking fine off the bed, no makeup, yo, you got that shit on. That's how you were made. So you got to give people their flowers when they're still above ground. Too many people go to funerals with flowers. I hate it. Hey, yo, thanks for the follow. You know what I'm looking for? Oh, okay. Hey, yo, y'all didn't tell me I had to change the shit to module. So instead of this being... Wait. So instead of the script being this, it needs to be changed to something called module. So I need to make a type here. Type. And that's another thing. I could still talk and work, so I'll be on my shit. But so what does the module do? I need to look this up. Module, not module. Module. What is type? What is a type module? If you want to send me a link, send it to the Discord. Please put it here section. Modules allow you to use ESM imports. Come on, Lanky. How the fuck you gonna do that to me? I ask a question, and he gonna give me another question I gotta ask. What the fuck is an ESM? I got more questions. You make scripts that run after all DOM content loaded, so you can actually put... Oh. Muted? No, I'm not muted. Am I muted? I don't think so. I never feel like intermediate or an expert, but someone who's just starting out asks me stuff and I'm able to help them without looking anything up. That feels so good. It's such a great feeling. My play. Listen. We were at the hospital the other day, and we were about to do an emergency intubation. Someone had clamped down on their jaw. They were seizing, so we needed to give them a relaxer. And I was like, all right, get their jaw loose without breaking any of their teeth. And the rookies were there shivering, about to shit their pants. And the second year, nurse, let me get 3 of lidocaine. Yeah, 3 of lidocaine. We don't need it. We don't need a hard relaxer. We just need something to loosen her up. I call the rookies by numbers because I say until you pass year 1, your name's not important. 1, I need you on the head of the bed. 2, I need you at the foot. 3, let's hold his arms down. And then he looks to me, straight face, says, Hero, I'm ready to get started. Am I good to go? Doctor, please. I mean, it was a thing of beauty to see. It was a thing of beauty. I'm getting emotional thinking about it. And I'm happy I had my mask on, but my fucking smile was ear to ear. And as I watched him stab it into the jaw, put it into the line, he gets the fucking mouth open and he's going for the tube. The nurse reaches to grab his tube. He slaps her hand. He says, I got it. Thank you, nurse. This placement is going to be difficult. I just need to know where it's going to be. You know when your teacher called you in class and you didn't want to stand up because you had an erection because you're looking at Susie Q in the fucking corner? I let my erection run. Y'all gonna see this shit because I'm proud of this motherfucker right here. Slips the tube in, starts the breathing with one hand, connects the air tube with the other, takes his glove off with one hand, writes the signature, date, time, types into the computer, time of intubation, regulates breathing, and administers light sedative to help the patient relax. Oh, it was a thing of beauty. He was sweating bullets though, but it was a thing of fucking beauty, man. It was a thing of fucking beauty. But just 4 months ago, I couldn't get this guy to draw blood from a person without panicking. I can't do it. Bitch, you better learn. Cause you went to school for a long ass time for you not to know how to save a life. How you go to school to learn how to save a life and you can't save a life? That's crazy. I think there's certain people that just gravitate towards pressure, and I enjoy those people. I enjoy being one of those people. What makes your jaw drop is seizing. Most time it's usually when people are having seizures, but also it's a spasm. So whenever something goes down the wrong pipe and you're not conscious, one of your self-defense mechanism is to lock your jaw up so nothing else can enter. But if it's already lodged in your throat, it then prevents anyone from getting in to doing it. But it's basically just an increase of like corticoids, like stressors in the body. There's a number of reasons why it happened. But for us, there's things like lidocaine that's like a pain remover. Also, people might swallow their tongue. So that happens sometimes. Right? But yeah, being able to just like help people watching people become great makes you feel better. I don't care how bad your day was. You want to have a better day? You think you're having a rough day? Find someone that needs help. Girl at my gym, I was looking at her the whole time. Her fine ass. She knows she was fine. She couldn't lift weights for shit. But when it was time for her to take the weights off, she had her nails done. She couldn't take the weights off. I came over, pulled the weights off. And then unsolicited, this womanizer, this melanizer, she gonna walk over to me and feel on my biceps while I'm all flexed up. Talking about, thank you. I appreciate you. Unhand me, woman. I'm a man of God. Thy filth stains me. Unhand me, woman. She was talking that good shit. She was fine though. Yeah, you can't be too mad if they're at least, you know, if they're pretty. It makes it a lot easier. Makes it a lot easier. Oh, wait. All right. Let's find cause we're gonna be back at this shit tomorrow. Bright and early. But I'm happy we could have such an engaging conversation today. It's always fun. Always fun talking that. Lanky, I'm gonna go check out that link right now. I want to be part with the cool kids. Take me to the end of the credits, please. We got some people to thank. Hey, yo, clap it.
Get down!
Yeah. We made it to the end.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah. We'll probably go like 9 a.m. We'll do a bonus stream tomorrow and we'll get some shit going. We'll get it cracking. Hey, yo, here's the comic book. Here's the YouTube. I need one more like on that video up there. There's a video currently in the comment section. I need one more like. Who's gonna be my hero? Here's the winners and the losers. Roll them goddamn credits. All right. We're gonna give a quick raid. There's some people I stream with when I'm not streaming. You should watch them. Join the Discord. I usually ask questions that I need answers to, and nobody comes and saves me on the weekend. I don't know what y'all think this is, what y'all doing, but when I ask questions on my Discord, I expect goddamn answers. No, I'm just playing. It's just nice to have friends, but seeing as how ain't no strangers. I appreciate the Poop. You made it to the board. Well done. I can't see the board. It's not clear. You guys can see it. It's updated. Robotech is in first place. Who's that? Who came in second? I can't read that. I think that Yak came in third, so that has to be. I don't know who came in. Grimy came in second. Okay. And then we have the perfect thing. I forgot to get my messages, but I'll see you guys tomorrow, bright and early. Be ready.
Your copy, and then it doesn't matter, because then it'll go in a set that actually. So you're right. I'm overthinking it. It's good.